our next rookie. Let's go Cameron Latu. Um, and it's interesting to me. Not my favorite pick in this draft. If you watched us live, I was not a fan of this pick just because of what was still available on the board. I didn't like Cameron Latu's tape too much, but now it's starting to process. And the fact that you have John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan come out and say we're drafted for what he's going to be. You have Scott McLaughlin come out and say he's going to be great. It's not where he is now. That helps a lot. I wasn't looking at it that way. This is a guy that converted from defensive end to tight end. And shout out to David R., who emailed me. And, he had this pretty cool observation, and I liked it. He talked about, they were trying to turn blockers into pass catchers with Dwelly and Warner. Right? They went after these great blockers and tried to turn them into playmakers. It didn't work. Not that they're bad players, but the playmaking ability never came across from those guys. And so again, the evolution of Shanahan, which I love to pay attention to. All right. You had multiple swings at these high end blockers. It tried to turn them into pass catchers. Didn't work. Kittle was different because he had all the traits. So now they're coming at it from the other end, right? Especially with Latu. They're going after pass catchers with good attitudes and willingness to block. And now they're going to try and adapt and change them into good blockers. So you got the playmaking, and Latu has that. Now, he doesn't have the tackle breaking, he doesn't have the speed, but man, he's got the hands. And so this clip I'm going to show you, it's just a 1-minute clip. It's quick. He does not block often, okay? And when he does block, it's very, very poor. I went through the entire Alabama-Tennessee tape, and it got really, really hard to find a good clip to show. But I found one. There were 2 positive blocking clips throughout the whole game. This was one of them. So to put it into context, not a lot of positive blocking tape, but that's okay. If we're sticking to the words of, Shanahan and Lynch, the willingness 100% is there. He just got to be coached up, which is crazy because Alabama tight ends usually block well, but that's okay. He's defensive end to tight end, whatever else. Here we go. Here's a quick clip on Cameron Latu blocking in the wing from the wing standpoint. He wasn't quote unquote, hand in the dirt, whatever. He was just off like Kittle does. But this was my favorite clip, I thought. There it is. There it is. All right, baby. We're going to spend some time on this one. Here he is right here as the wing on the offensive right. Look at that. Engages, ducks his head, looks at the ground too much whenever he blocks. I think that's a big reason why he whiffs. Does a good job here. Gets his hands on the shoulder. Crazy wide base. You don't have to have that wide of a base, but all right. You just kind of see him anchor and just waddle. So, the first couple things I see, you can only block what you see. And he is constantly looking at the ground. Again, look, eyes up, eyes somewhat up, eyes up, eyes up, eyes somewhat up. Like these eyes are straight to the ground. Then once he engages, you see those crazy, crazy wide base. I like his arms. I like his hands. I like all those things. He's grabbing cloth, which I like. So some positives. This is the very first inline blocking rep of this game, and we're almost through the third quarter. But this is a positive rep. That is a positive rep. I can work with that, right? And so, man, you see, this is why I don't like highlights. I could put together the 2 positive blocking reps that he had that game and make it look like, dude, this dude's for real. Like he fits the Niner way. But again, if I go back and you watch it all collectively, it does leave some questions to be asked. So let's get into our analytic data, our deep dives. Here's what's crazy. Like they use him, Cameron Latu, as a tight end with his hand in the dirt. He doesn't ever block from that standpoint. So, and again, okay, you say he never blocks there. He had 40 pass blocking snaps the entire year. Just 40. Like, that's not that much. But in that sample size, he only allowed 1 quarterback hit, 0 sacks. Not the highest rate, whatever else, but it's not bad. The thing is this, he has not been asked to do this consistently. For the 49ers, we use inline tight ends more than any other team in the NFL. And those 40 pass blocking snaps are not just from an inline tight end spot. That's any time it was a pass play and he attempted to block somebody. Only 40 this past year. So that's a very small window. That is tiny, tiny, tiny. So it's not like he's a finished product. And again, that's probably where my evaluation fell short. Is I graded where he was. The 49ers are looking for what he will be. And so constantly keep that in mind. Now, what is it that he currently does that is good? Look at Gregus Khan. Look at this. 80% of his catches went for a first down or a touchdown. Yeah, listen. And again, I could back that up even further. His average depth of target, or ADOT, which basically means this is how many air yards the ball travels, right? He averaged 9.8, which means the ball is traveling a full 10 yards before it gets to him every time. That is a deep ADOT for a tight end. To put this into perspective, look at the Niners last year. Juwan Jennings had a 9.7 average depth of target. It's 9.7 yards past the line of scrimmage where the ball finally gets to him. George Kittle had an 8.0. So the story, and man, Greg is coming right on clutch right there, brother. He has deep targets, and that's what he specializes in. Finding space, quality hand catches. He had 3 drops last year, but, good hand catcher. This is a pass catcher. There's no doubt about it. Like, if there's anything that he does well, it's find space and catch the damn ball. And we have not had that. We haven't had it. Kittle's different, obviously, but from the number 2 or number 3 tight end, we had, you had the little glimpse whenever we brought in Reed, the old Washington player. That was awesome. But then he got injured. Jordan Reed 2.0. Gregus, man, you get out of my head, dude. Randy says Dwelly 2.0 spicy. That would be a mistake. If he turned into Dwelly 2.0, the Niners would be very disappointed. Because the things that he does better than Dwelly already is space and catch the ball. That's where he's kind of at. He's better. Now, can he block as well as Dwelly? If we could, okay, here we go. I like this. Thank you, Randy. If we could get Latu to block as good as Dwelly has, this would be a home run pick. This would be a home run pick. Because what Dwelly does so well is basically block from, the tight end 2, or the fullback position, the versatility, all that stuff. But what Dwelly can't do is get in space and, make those awesome catches. He made a couple. I'm not trying to downplay Dwelly, but he's an undrafted free agent. This is a 3rd-round pick. If you could I'd sign up right now. Hey, we're going to get Latu to Dwelly-esque blocking. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. That gets me excited. So I would really, really like that. I would really like that. No, Dwelly can catch, but there's a difference. Dwelly's athletic profile, actually, they're probably relatively close. But you just see it. It's different. It's different in the fact that the catches that, and I wish I had this clip pulled up right now, but that's okay. Like, this dude will make wide receiver-esque catches on the sidelines. Dwelly is just a big target that you dump the ball down to. That's what it is. And again, back to this average step to target, he's closer to Juwan Jennings and David right here. Latu might be a supersized slot. That's not a bad idea, especially in the goal line. This is a dude that broke the record for most touchdowns by an Alabama tight end ever. Juwan Jennings had 1 touchdown last year, just 1, which was crazy to me. And I would not have guessed that. But yeah, you could do that right now. You could use him as that big slot role right now. Jay Shaw, does Latu catch with his hands or wait till they arrive at his chest? Oh, one of the best natural pass catching hands in this draft for the tight end position. He plucks the ball. Ball never gets into his chest. Never does. I mean, this dude goes and gets it. There's no doubt about it.
The 49ers Rush Podcast.